Sorry about the technical difficulties. I lost the fucking rubber band that was supposed to hold the movie poster. I have to keep that fucking careful or else everything's gonna scratch off and it's gonna be no fun. But you're next. So, I mean, either way, it's like a cool poster, I guess. So it doesn't really matter. But you're next. It's kind of like a black, kind of like a dark comedy movie, like a black comedy slasher film. It's not really supposed to be taken seriously, but as a serious movie, it's not that bad. There's a couple really cool twists to it. It came out in 2011, so it's probably one of the more, well, shout out to Scratch It, but it's probably one of the more recent movies we're going to be covering as a part of the Scratch It series. We're going to be doing 2 of those movies every single week. Next week, tomorrow we're going to be doing Evil Dead. That's another movie we're going to be covering this week, the original. But yeah, the plot, critical reception, all that stuff coming up right here for you. So getting into the plot, so the film opens with a couple, Talia and Eric Harrison, having sex. Yeah, the movie opens with people having sex. I guess you kind of get the vibes from there. Afterwards, Talia walks around the house, not noticing that the motion sensor light outside had turned out, and it broke on them. So now they can't see the fucks outside, and this is unfortunate because the main killers of the film, who I don't even really know what they're supposed to be about, really, I guess they're just like bounty hunters. I don't know. But after a shower, Eric finds "You're next" written on the window in Talia's blood. Her body is lying dead on the ground. And, I mean, kind of a lame beginning, kind of a typical beginning, but I guess it was kind of cool to, like, spell out the movie title like that. I don't know. An attacker wearing a lamb mask attacks Eric and kills him with the machete. So that's how the opening unfolds. So Erin accompanies her boyfriend, Crispian Davison, to his family reunion at their vacation home in rural Missouri, which is like a state below me, so I think that's kind of interesting. Present are Crispian's parents, Aubrey and Paul, Crispian's older brother, Drake, and his wife, Kelly, Crispian's younger siblings, Felix and Amy, and their partners, Z and Tariq, respectively. So it's like this big old family reunion, everybody's together, and it's already kind of setting up to be like a bodies situation, which we covered on the channel recently, where you have like a fuck ton of people kind of trying to survive the night. It's like one of those movies. I like those movies. I think they're fun. I mean, this isn't necessarily a good movie, but it's really fun. It's a good-ass time, and not a lot of people talk about it, so there you go. During dinner, someone shoots crossbow bolts through the window, one of which hits Tariq in the head and kills him, with another wounding Drake. So the first victim is Tyreek, whatever. So he's like staring at the window, sees someone, and he sees something, and he gets shot in the face. So there you have it. The survivors discover that their cell phone reception has been jammed, and what's his name? Funny enough, Felix, we're gonna find out about him. Don't worry. Like he like knows all of this shit, so maybe you kind of get from the beginning like, okay, this guy's behind something crazy. So Amy runs outside for help, but runs into a garrote wire, which slices her throat, killing her. So Amy, one of the daughters, dies there. So Erin is briefly attacked by an attacker in a tiger mask in the kitchen, but she fights him off as he escapes through the kitchen door. And the tiger mask, I don't think, returns to the film. Paul puts Aubrey to bed, but an intruder wearing a fox mask, who is hiding under the bed, murders Aubrey with a machete, leaving the words "You're next" and blood on the wall. So now the mother is dead. So people are starting to die one by one, and we're setting up to have like a final girl, final guy type of situation. You kind of like see that from the beginning. Kelly discovers Fox Mask, panics, and flees the house, going to Eric's house nearby, the neighbor, who died in the beginning. Upon discovering Eric's corpse, Lamb Mask throws her through the window and kills her by driving an axe into the side of her head. So, yeah, she dies, and she is one of the son's girlfriends. So there you have it there. She dies. Crispin leaves the house to look for help, and he doesn't return for the whole movie, so you kind of have to speculate. You're like watching the movie, you're like, where the hell is Crispin at? It's interesting. Tiger Mask, and we'll find out where he went. Tiger Mask attacks Erin with an axe, but she crushes his skull by beating him with a meat tenderizer. And man, Erin, she's the final girl. Like, we kind of get that once she starts like being a badass and taking over these monsters. Or like, not these monsters, these killers, these slashers. We learn they're like hitmen, pretty much. She beats the fuck out of this guy. She has no fucking mercy, and like, it'd be cool to have like a backstory for her, like why she's so good at like beating the shit out of people. I don't know. Paul finds sleeping bags, food wrappers, and bottles of urine in the closet, indicating the killers have been staying in the house for some time. Like, these people have been spying on them. and the son, we know later, probably caught wind of this and hired them to like stake out the house. He finds Felix and Z and starts to tell them only for Foxmask to slit his throat with a machete. So now both of the parents are dead. It is then revealed that Felix and Z hired the assassins to murder the family so they could collect their inheritance. They're obviously broke as fuck. They're probably like seen as failures in the family, so they fucking hired these guys. Lamb Mask finds Tiger Mask's corpse and flips the dinner table over in rage. They're obviously pissed off because they were supposed to be hitmen. They were supposed to kill all these like people, and then they realize, well, our people are dying in the process, and that was not part of the plan. He discovers a wounded Drake hiding, but retreats after Aaron stabs him with a screwdriver. Like, Aaron is just starting to kick all of their asses. Aaron sets up nail traps by the house's entrances, explaining to Z that she grew up in a survivalist compound where she learned combat and survival skills. So that's kind of like a motivation, like a motive. It's kind of like a background about her. Although it'd be cool to like maybe learn a little bit more about that. It's kind of crazy that coincidentally this like badass is this guy Crispin's girlfriend. Felix meets Drake in the basement and kills him out of pity by stabbing him with multiple screwdrivers. It's fucking crazy. Like, Felix is like psh, 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 like grabbing all the weapons, and they like round the weapons up and they're like, here, you get a weapon, you get a weapon. And it's kind of crazy because those are the same weapons that Felix uses to kill Drake. So now the only people that are left are Crispin, Felix, Z, like one or two of the killers, Aaron, of course, and that's pretty much it at this point. On the upper floor, Aaron comes across Paul's body. She jumps through a window to escape Foxmask, injuring her leg. And up to this point, she has no idea. She has no idea that, like, Felix and Z are behind this. She just thinks, like, oh, they're trying to fucking run from them. Lamb Mask is injured by one of her nail traps. He steps on it. While hiding, Aaron overhears an argument between Felix, Z, Foxmask, and Lamb Mask, where it was revealed that Lamb Mask and Tiger Mask were brothers. So these were brothers that kind of got together, that were hired to, carry out this sort of, like, killing spree as part of, like, a bounty sort of deal. Her cell phone beeps to indicate that her text to 911 has gone through, alerting the killers. Now, earlier in the movie, she left like a voicemail because they had no reception. And sometimes, there's like these SOS voicemail systems that get through, and it got through. So the killers get alerted. They're like, why the hell is the phone beeping? Are the police involved? Yeah. She is able to ambush and kill Lamb Mask by stabbing him in the head. So now, So now it's just Foxmask. It's just Foxmask, Felix, Z, and then Crispin and Aaron. Realizing she cannot outrun Foxmask with a wounded leg, Aaron sets a trap at the front door where an axe would fall and kill anyone who opens the door. Literally some, like, Home Alone shit. This movie's fucking cool, man. I like this movie. The jump scares are kind of good. I don't know. Maybe I don't have a high standard. Let me know in the comments. Foxmask enters through a window, so Aaron lures him into the basement where she blinds him with a camera before cracking his skull with a log, killing him. So now all of the killers are dead, and now it's just Z, Felix, Crispin, and Aaron. This is kind of like an update as we go. So now knowing that all the killers are killed, Z and Felix have to take this upon themselves because they are determined to get their parents' inheritance. So they attempt to kill Aaron themselves, but she kills Felix by shredding the top of his head with a blender before stabbing Z in the top of the head with a knife. And so yeah, those two are dead. Now it's just in between. Aaron and Crispin to sort this out. Felix's cell phone rings and Aaron answers without speaking. Believing he is speaking to Felix, Crispin reveals his involvement in the scheme. So now that, at first, Felix and Z were the only ones that were involved, and then out of fucking nowhere, it's like, oh, Crispin was a part of this too, and this is why he got away. He didn't want to be responsible for killing anyone. He's kind of a fucking coward, really. Aaron confronts him when he returns, and Crispin explains that she was never meant to be targeted. She wasn't going to be killed. That's the thing. They were attempting to kill her, but that was just to kind of, settle her down and to defend themselves. After he attempts to bribe her into staying quiet, she kills him in disgust by stabbing him in the neck and eye. So now, it's just Aaron left in the house, and there's this murderous scene. Looks pretty bad. So, a police officer arrives and shoots Aaron in the shoulder, having seen her kill Crispin. So he pretty much witnessed her do that. After calling for backup, he attempts to enter the house and falls victim to Aaron's front door trap, with the axe hitting him in the head just as the movie cuts to a blood-splattered You're Next. And what a fucking awesome ending. That was fucking awesome. Like, me and my dad were watching this like, oh, no, 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 no. No, you know? Like, so yeah. We're gonna look at some critical reviews of this movie, and then we will call it a day. So, on Rotten Tomatoes, it got a 79%, 162 reviews, 6.6 out of 10. Your Next is energetic and effective mix of brutal gore and pitch black humor will please horror buffs and beyond. It got a 6.6 out of 10 with 32 critics on Metacritic, generally favorable by their base, a B- on Cinema Score. This is one of the more entertaining horror pictures, of this century, honestly. Like, up to that point, anyway. It got a B+ on Entertainment Weekly. Wingard's canny knack for leavening his character's gory demises with sick laughs and clever Rube Goldberg twists, razor-sharp piano wire, hasn't been used this well since 1999's Audition. It's like Ordinary People meets Scream, and it's really good. The final shot is deliciously twisted. 4 out of 5 on Slant Magazine. The film brazenly merges the home invasion thriller with the dysfunctional family dramedy, which is awesome. The film's solidly satisfying and a minor triumph. The film was, in general, kind of unoriginal. That's kind of the fault of the movie. That's like kind of a negative. It shares a lot of tropes of other horror movies. And the film's funny and tense rather than hilarious and terrifying. The film's it's a good horror comedy for sure. 3.5 out of 5 on Arizona Republic. The film was not super scary. Its budget for red food coloring was no doubt higher than the one for script doctoring. The film's score and gruesome conclusion was cool, though, for sure. The movie is at times bloodily entertaining, and if the central plot twist isn't all that clever, at least the movie offers some motivation for its mayhem. For slasher horror fans 17 and older, Your Next may provide sufficient homicidal entertainment. 2.5 out of 4 on the Globe and Mail. It's well executed, but kind of rudimentary at the same time. The film, again, unoriginal. It's practically insulting. What? The premise is idiotic. That's what people are saying. The film's characters were more unsympathetic, and that more humor would have improved the film. That is true. The humor was a bit subtle in this film, and I really wanted them to put the humor in your face. I think that would have been better. It got a C+ by the Portland Oregonian. It's not really inventive. It's kind of like The Purge, The Last House on the Left. It's got that type of vibe of it. With it, sorry, Jesus, I'm stuttering. Like movies that are kind of like, okay, we've seen this before. It's repetitive. It did not have a purpose. Okay. Placed. Erin's character is one of the most badass female horror leads ever, and you have to admit that. Like, there's not really a final girl in movies that people decide, oh, she's like this fucking survivalist. Like, that's not really something you see in a lot of horror movies. I think that was really cool. Erin's character really carried this movie. Obviously, like, the funny arguing into the killing was funny as hell. But yeah, overall, good movie. It was on my scratch it. You could see that in the first part. But yeah, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I gotta get on the fucking Discord. These guys they're counting on me, man. I gotta get going. Gotta get stream started. I'm gonna be doing Super Bowl runs on Twitch tonight, like in a couple minutes here. And then yeah, so have a good rest of your night. And if whoever is in the Discord is seeing this, I'm sorry because I'm super fucking behind. I had to get some videos out. I had to get my YouTube.